Good evening and welcome. Besides digital transformation, fitness is one of my favorite topics. And as the new year is upon us, I want to share with you all an important insight in the world of fitness. I'm starting to think that maybe streaks are a bad idea. I'm going to explain to you why. What is the longest streak you have had? Until a point in time, over a 15 or 16 year struggle, the best I had managed was a 90-day streak. And every time I stop a streak, for whatever reason, I would blame myself, feel guilty, be frustrated. All that will happen. And then it would also make it very difficult for me to get back onto the new streak. And this used to constantly happen. Now, over the years, I have made many speeches about my fitness programs. I have taken some excerpts from my many speeches and I have given it to you in a condensed form.
Resist change. Will any girl marry me with the big paunch that I have?
My out of control eating problem. I was so bored exercising in the gym.
Then all kinds of gyms, fancy gym, in-house gym, with iPod, without iPod, with a book, without a book, watching TV, without watching TV, what have you. I have tried everything.
Painful, boring, hard, I don't enjoy it. There's no time, gym is not nearby, I'm not getting the results quickly, I'm not motivated. 2 push-ups took me all of 2 seconds. All the excuses that I had in my head, it's boring, I don't have time, I am lazy, all that didn't stand a chance with this method. And within 355 days, I surprised myself by doing 50 push-ups at one go, which I did even today. And I went to Ali sir, my fitness trainer. I have been working with him for the last almost 10 years, 2 days a week, every week. And he told me something interesting. He said, you have to take at least one rest day every week because otherwise your muscles won't recover. Now, working with them, I realized that fitness is actually a very big body of knowledge and I don't think we can wing it. So I would advise every one of you to have a fitness trainer and consult that person frequently, at least once a month if more frequently is not an option for you. Now I took his advice seriously and lo and behold, I completed 10 years, October 2nd, 2020, a few months ago. I had grown my fitness habit to about 1.5 hours daily, 6 days a week, which I did today also. Now the biggest surprise for me is that I don't feel tired, I don't feel bored or worn out, and it doesn't feel like I have done 10 years at all. Which is something really interesting, and it has taken me this much time to develop the conviction that maybe this is a better method than the streaks, and I'm going to explain why. The problem is that everywhere you go, everyone is advocating streaks, including the fitness devices, right? I have tried the Apple Watch, the Fitbit, the My Band. None of them have the concept of a rest day. Why is this happening? And I decided to dig deeper into that. Surprise and surprise, right? The exemplars of the streak theory are mainly the celebrities. Jerry Seinfeld is very famous for his don't break the chain approach. Stephen King apparently writes 2 pages at least every day. And I am told that Virat Kohli wakes up at 4:30 a.m. and exercises for a couple of hours. Now they are all inspiring people and I greatly admire them as well. But the interesting thing is, this is their job, right? If Jerry Seinfeld doesn't tell you a good joke, he is going to lose millions of dollars. So is Stephen King if he misses the publisher's deadline, or Virat Kohli stops being the Indian cricket team's captain. Hundreds of millions of dollars at stake. For you and I, if you miss the exercise 1 day, 2 days, what's going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. The effects of it is going to show up several years later. So we are taking the wrong examples. These are not the people that we should be following. Their examples are not suitable to us. As I dig deeper, I found streaks are nowhere, whereas cycles are everywhere. You have the day and night, you have the seasons, the sleep and wake cycle. Even our work week is a cycle, 5 to 6 days, depending on which part of the world you work in. If you are a follower of the Judeo-Christian faiths, they say even God doesn't work on Sunday and takes a rest day. So there is the notion of the cycle everywhere. Now, I believe that streaks tend to promote a results focused approach, whereas the cycles seem to promote a process focused approach. I will tell you why. The first 3 years of my fitness program, I did not lose a single gram of weight or 1 millimeter of my tummy. I would go to my trainer Ali sir, who would take the measurements every month, right? That's how I know that the parameters weren't changing. And I would ask him why nothing is happening. He will say, wait, be focusing on the process and things will happen. Lo and behold, after 3 years and 3 months or so, I started losing weight steadily and I lost 8 kilos and I'm much fitter and much happier as well. So the idea is to go through cycles. Now, is 3 days a week better or 6 days a week better? I will show you with some evidence that even if you did a tiny habit type of thing 6 days a week, that's better than a 1 hour workout 3 days a week. Some interesting statistics about the brain. The conscious brain processes 40 packets of information per second. Now, how much do you think the subconscious processes? I fell out of my chair when I saw in his book that it processes 11 million packets of information per second. So you can say our conscious brain is like a snail and the subconscious is like the rocket ship. Whether or not you believe in these numbers, it's quite obvious that the subconscious is exponentially more powerful. I did some back of the envelope calculations. In the 3 days a week program, I calculated that we got about 192,000 learning units. But interestingly, the procrastination part, which is what we do more of, even if we say the thinking effort is just 0.1 effort unit, when it gets multiplied by the 11 million subconscious, you get to 1.1 million. Which is why it is harder for us to beat the procrastination thing. It is much stronger. It's a subconscious process. But interestingly, in the case of tiny habits, even though it is only 1 effort unit, it is a subconscious process and hence it becomes 11 million. It becomes exponentially stronger than the procrastination. This is why I was able to do this better, and I decided to call this tiny grit. Now, I was talking to Kumaran about it, and he came up with a great idea that this procrastination thing should be called tiny demon. And you can see here that the tiny demon has learned how to ride the rocket ship, whereas we are still stuck in the conscious zone, 3 days a week and so on. The other observation that I made about the tiny demon's hat trick. So one of the things that used to happen to me when I was in the Monday, Wednesday, Friday type of thing was, say Monday morning I wake up one day, I don't feel like doing it. I have now skipped 3 days. The next turn is going to come the following Wednesday. There would be a 5-day gap. That means I have crossed the tiny demon's hat trick and I find it very difficult to get back on. So it's hard to be consistent with the 3 days a week routine. Whereas a 6 days a week routine, even if small to start with, it's easier to build the routine. So my recommendation is that you start with a streak. Build a 120 days as a habit, as a streak. Every day you do it. And then slowly grow it and try to have multiple segments of 10 to 20 minutes during the day instead of looking for that 1 to 1.5 hour at a single stretch type of thing. Then you switch to a cycle mode like I did 6 days a week with 1 rest day. You can also try 5 days a week with 2 rest days, but I think 6 days a week will definitely allow you to beat the tiny demon's hat trick. And every month review your progress with the trainer's help and adjust the intensity upward so that you are constantly on the path of improvement and not letting the body settle into a rut. With that, I thank you all for listening to me, and here's wishing you a fantastic new year 2021. May all your dreams come true.